Hey everyone, I'm Scott Cunningham, aka Scottsy Business, and today we're going to be talking about the different cryptocurrencies that you can use for daily transactions. And what I mean by this is that I've previously talked about how there's different use cases for different cryptocurrencies. So, Bitcoin is like digital gold. You want to hold that long term. Ethereum is kind of investing in the development of Web 3.0 and building a lot of different projects on that. And there's a lot of other different coins, but for me, the main coins that offer the best usability or functionality for just everyday purchases would be Litecoin, Dash, and Bitcoin Cash. There might be some other options, but I'll explain to you why I think these are the best options. And personally, I use just Dash. I still hold Bitcoin Cash, but I've recently gotten rid of my Litecoin Cash. But it really doesn't matter which of these three you use. The fees might ever so slightly differ, but in terms of how quick they are, having extremely low fees, that's really all you need. For whatever currency that you're trying to use to spend, in daily transactions, groceries, going to Walmart, Amazon, whatever it happens to be, you want to use cryptocurrencies that have almost little to no fees whatsoever for transactions or, for network costs, so that you can save as much money as possible for actually, transacting it and using it. Because the worst thing that you could be doing is, buying things with Bitcoin and then spending $20, $30 on fees, making your transactions, not worthwhile, especially if it's just for, a coffee or something and you're spending $25 on a coffee when the coffee itself is only $5. So obviously there's certain cryptocurrencies that offer benefits to for these types of things in this use case of actually using it as if it were cash. And for me, I use Dash because it's the simplest. It offers a little bit of privacy features, and I just really like the application, Dash Pay. It's just very, very easy to use, very simple. It's really just preference. I don't think Dash is necessarily, so much better than Bitcoin Cash or Litecoin. I used to not be a fan of Bitcoin Cash because I thought it was just kind of like a knockoff of Bitcoin. But since seeing different platforms that have been built on it and using it myself for buying various things, I see the use case now, and I understand that there is a group of cryptocurrencies that their main purpose is just to be used as if they were cash. So they're not going to move a ton in value, and the main use case is really just to be able to spend it. Because, again, another bad thing that would happen, whereas if you spend Ethereum or Bitcoin on top of the fees, it may appreciate a great deal in value, and then you lose out on that appreciation because, say I buy Bitcoin and then I spend it on something, and then the next day it goes up 10%, then I lose that huge gain there in that money. And whatever I bought yesterday, now in today's value, I spent much more money than what I would have otherwise. So you're really incentivized to just hold your Bitcoin and not spend it so that it goes up in value and purchasing power. Whereas with these cryptocurrencies, it's not like they're not going to go up in value, but it's not going to be nearly as drastic as Bitcoin. Aside from, recently Dash was delisted from a bunch of exchanges that are trying to crack down on privacy coins, but then, a bunch of people came back in and bought Dash anyways. So it's been a little volatile lately. But I still find that Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and Dash have been by far the best cryptocurrencies for actually being able to buy various products. And the reason that I don't list, many other coins that may be possible to use is because I don't see them personally in options to pay with myself, or I don't like the cryptocurrency for what it is. Like Doge, for example, I absolutely detest Doge. I would never recommend anyone invest in Doge. I had a bunch of Doge on, I believe it was Cryptopia, where it was the base trading pair was Doge, and I lost all that money because the whole exchange got shut down. And I've just had a very sour taste in my mouth with Doge. I mean, there's really no utility or use case for it. But, you've got Elon Musk who makes jokes about it, and then everyone goes and buys it. And I think that's extremely irresponsible. But I do see Doge on some websites that you could use if you wanted. But again, it's not very viable. There's no easy way to do it, or like an app or something that makes it very, very easy. The point is that I'm going to recommend the easiest option, because crypto is already extremely complex and challenging for most people. So asking them to do the more challenging option for their everyday spending, they're just going to stick to regular fiat currency at that point. So I'm recommending Dash, and I'll briefly show you guys on my screen, my process of, when I go to buy something or do something, and why Dash is kind of like my go-to. So I will share my screen now. I'll navigate over to bitrefill.com. So for me, I buy a lot of my products on Bitrefill. You can get almost anything you need, honestly, whether it's gas, clothing, anything that you can really think of from Amazon. And you can buy other gift cards through Amazon, because I found that Google wasn't on here for Canada, but I could buy it through Amazon. Just to pay for my Google Drive, Uber Eats, regular Uber, just a ton of different things, Walmart, your groceries, pretty much anything you can think of. You can buy a gift card here and then use it and buy it with crypto, obviously. So there's a million different ways to do this, but and they also offer you rewards, which is amazing if you decide to actually make an account, but you can also just do this anonymously with no account or anything like that. So say I was going to buy like $10 worth of Amazon Canadian dollars, and then I was going to use that. Oh, that's just because I wasn't logged in. Yeah, you can give them your email if you want to get updated in case there's any issues and stuff like that. But normally if you're logged in, obviously you wouldn't get that screen. So this is all they offer you to pay with, right? So I mean, I don't like Doge, so I don't recommend that. And obviously, I explained Bitcoin is very expensive, as same with Ethereum, for everyday transactions. So, I mean, with this website, only Dash or Litecoin are good options here. So you don't even have Bitcoin Cash. So again, another reason why I really like Dash, because anywhere that I've ever needed to buy something, Dash is there. And there's no issues, right? Because a lot of people say, well, what's wrong with Bitcoin Cash? I like Bitcoin Cash. I hold it. I earn it. But in certain scenarios where I want to use it, like this one, I can't. So I would use Dash instead. So naturally, it's easier for me to just have Dash for all of these different, use cases. And then, I mean, also you earn rewards when you buy these, and that's really great. And then you can spend those as well over time. And I've done that a few times. And then another good example is like Bitvo. So let me just log in here first. Oh, I'm already logged in. That makes things a lot easier. So on Bitvo, in Canada, I can get my Bitvo card, which I have, a prepaid Visa card using Bitvo. And I can just load it up with any cryptocurrency and then sell that out into Canadian dollars. And then it's, in Canadian dollars. For people who'd rather hold crypto in the form of crypto and then sell it as you spend it, in Canada at least, you have local coin, which I also have a prepaid Visa credit card for as well. But I prefer to normally just use Bitvo, and that's just been my go-to. A lot of the platforms and services that offer cards like crypto.com or, all these different platforms that offer these crypto Visa cards or prepaid cards of some kind that allow you to spend your crypto. A lot of them will have something very similar to this. But again, in this case, you've got Bitcoin, Ether, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Dash, and QCAD. So the three that I recommended are Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and Dash. So they're all here. So that is fantastic. And again, makes it very easy to just transfer from crypto to fiat and then be able to spend groceries, beer, whatever it happens to be. Some people would say this isn't legitimately spending via crypto since you're selling into Canadian and then spending. But honestly, it's just good to be able to have a way to spend cryptocurrency without needing a bank account. And that's kind of the main thing here with this whole crypto lifestyle, that eventually maybe I earn enough crypto to just live off of that. Because if you're buying crypto and then selling it and then spending it, it's not super effective. Maybe in the future when it really, really goes up and then you want to just have a way to spend it or use it without having to, potentially claim tax depending on what you do. But yeah, so this works with all three that I've talked about. But again, I just use Dash because I also find it's probably the fastest too. So, I mean, in terms of like speed, ease of use, all that great stuff, it covers all those different things. And I mean, it does it very, very well. There's many websites that also will just take cryptocurrency. Now that is obviously much more particular because most of those actually only accept like Bitcoin or Ethereum. But most that accept other coins will also have Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and or Dash. In that capacity, obviously you can only use whatever is available, but from what I've seen, there's probably more sites that offer Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin than Dash. But in terms of like crypto specific sites, Dash is always included from what I've seen. So, it may help to have a little bit of each, or I mean, you could always transfer between them and convert as needed. But I've still found that Dash has been the best for me. This is, by no means promoted or sponsored by Dash or anything like that. It's just what I found to be the easiest. And if I'm going to, consolidate some of my funds into a coin that I want to be able to easily transact, for me, that's Dash, just because of some of the things that I mentioned. The app is really great. I do a demo, but this isn't supposed to be like a Dash, sponsor promo. I'm just kind of going through some of the different recommendations that I hold and use and what I do personally. But for me, it's always been Dash. And I just wanted to get this video out to sort of illustrate one of the major use cases of cryptocurrency. While I've done a breakdown of all of the use cases, in a nice overview video for you to see, all the different things that you could potentially use crypto for. This is my mini review, so to speak, of what I would actually recommend at the end of the day. And for me, that's Dash, because it's just by far the easiest, most convenient, fastest, low fees, and it's got that little extra privacy feature added in, which is very, very nice to have that option. They're also working on a lot of different things, like being able to send Dash to usernames, different things like that. I found it very, very easy to send, or, scan a QR and send, and then, I could just use my fingerprint to insta send instead of typing in my PIN. Lots and lots of various just useful features on their Dash Pay app. And I've had a really good time using it, and it's been very easy for me to buy things. I would say about half of my expenses I pay for using cryptocurrency, namely Dash now. And it's been very, very great. I previously almost only use Ethereum. And then as Ethereum gas fees got extremely high, over time, I've looked for better means, and I was using Bitcoin Cash and Dash for a while. I had some Litecoin just in case. And, I tested them all out and looked at the fees, and they were all very negligible, honestly. You might want to look into the fees exactly and determine if, one of them is better for you. I do still think, like off the top of my head, that Dash has the lowest fees, but I'm not 100% sure there. So, obviously check that out for yourself. Do your own research before you decide to go into any of these. But I'm not even saying like invest in any of these. I'm saying I hold crypto and Ethereum, and then when I want to set aside some money for paying expenses, paying bills, transferring into fiat, I always buy like, a little handful of Dash, because obviously it wouldn't make sense if every time I bought, one Dash and then I put that one Dash in, because then every time I would be spending my Ethereum or Bitcoin on the transaction. So instead I buy like 5 to 10 Dash, hold that for a few months, and then each month I'll take out some Dash to spend on various things. And it's nice to just have a little bit of Dash in case something ever came up and I needed to spend that, or buy something, whatever it happens to be, or even to just refill my account so that I could then use it on the go. So that is everything for today. My recommendation really is just Dash. But if you prefer Bitcoin Cash or Litecoin, obviously those are great options too. Feel free to comment any others down below. I know a lot of people are gonna comment many random coins just because they like those coins, but they're not feasible for what I'm actually talking about, right? Like, as much as I like Hive, or as much as people love Digibyte, that's not an option ever to natively pay for something. It's not an option on Bitvo. It's not an option on Bitrefill. It's not an option from what I've seen on Purse or any platform I've really looked at. So, if you can't spend it anywhere, then it's not a good option, because then people will say, oh, well, I really like Hive, and then when I want to spend it, I transfer it into Bitcoin Cash, and then I spend. Oh, okay, so then, yeah, you're just advocating for Bitcoin Cash, because that is the use case here. It's one of these coins that is actually meant for buying from these vendors, because these vendors still have to have those coins and accept them. Otherwise, it's not really a use case for those coins that they can buy everyday items if no one is accepting them. So maybe that could be the case in the future, but for now, there's only a little handful of coins that are actually viable for this. And for me, the top pick is Dash. But let me know, what do you guys use? What is your preference? Is it one of these three? Is it something else? Comment below. What do you use to buy everyday items? And when I said everyday transactions, I don't mean you're using Hive to buy tokens on the Hive ecosystem or whatever. I'm talking about everyday in real life transactions for your everyday needs. So buying water, buying alcohol, buying groceries, transportation. Not that alcohol is a need, but things that you need to buy on a regular basis, or that you do buy on a regular basis, consumer goods, whatever it happens to be, paying for your Netflix subscription, just random things like that. There's only a set amount of coins that could actually be accepted or used in these scenarios. So all the extra coins that would have to be converted to be used definitely don't really count, because we're talking about the ones that we can actually use. And it's going to save you money if you just hold those, then holding others, and then spending money to convert, and then spending that also take more time to do. So it's better to just, have your crypto ready to go, spend it as you need it, and use the best thing that works the best for you. So again, let me know what that is for you in the comments below. Let me know what you think of Dash. Where do you spend crypto? Do you use Bitrefill? What's your go-to crypto Visa prepaid card, or just, prepaid credit card that you can load crypto onto? Let us all know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, cheers.